I hope all of you guys had a great weekend. How has your day been? Tell me in the comments below. So this is your fourth stimulus check update and daily news report. Now we have a ton of news to go over in today's fourth stimulus check update, so you want to be sure to stay until the end of this video. Plus I'll be going over the latest news surrounding the Social Security benefits. Alright everybody, here's what I need you to know. Many Americans have been hoping for a fourth stimulus check, with close to 3 million people signing an online petition requesting ongoing payments. And for some people though, there's no need to wait for a politician in Congress in order to receive a fourth stimulus payment in your bank account.
Look, Social Security has been perhaps the most successful federal program in the modern history of America, and it is enormously popular. Before Social Security in the 1930s, about half the seniors in this country lived in poverty. Today the number is too high, but it's about 10%. So we have made real progress. Now you have ideologically a lot of Republicans who want to privatize or cut Social Security, they want to voucherize Medicare. They're not prepared to fight to lower the cost of prescription drugs and stop the pharmaceutical industry from ripping off the American people. That's fine, that's their point of view. That is not my point of view. I think in the United States of America, the richest country in the history of the world, all of our people should be able to retire with dignity, should be able to retire with security. And that means making sure that Social Security is there for our kids and our grandchildren, and that the Social Security benefits are sufficient enough that you can live with dignity.
When millions of people lost their lifetime savings, Social Security was there paying out every nickel owed to every eligible American. The truth. Well, you use that word. Social Security today has a $2.6 trillion surplus. Social Security today can pay out every benefit owed to every eligible American for the next 26 years.
Beneficiaries. I know you have heard over and over again that Social Security is going broke, that it won't be there for our kids and grandchildren, that Social Security is a Ponzi scheme, that Social Security is contributing to our large deficit and national debt, etc., etc., etc. And you've also heard many Republicans tell us that we need to cut Social Security, raise the retirement age, or maybe even privatize the program. Well, I am happy to tell you that much of what you've heard is simply not true.
We could also provide the resources necessary to expand Social Security benefits. And that is exactly what we should be doing. And that, in fact, is what the American people want us to do. Mr. President, an August 2014 poll by Lake Research Partners asked likely voters if they support the idea of, quote, increasing Social Security benefits and paying for that increase by having wealthy Americans pay the same rate into Social Security as everybody else, end of quotes.
Being 85 years of age, having health care needs, having to keep your home warm in the winter. How in God's name do you do that on $13,500? You don't. And everybody up here in one way or another is involved with the Meals on Wheels program, other programs for seniors, waiting lists all over this country. Seniors desperately trying to get one good meal a day, and we don't even have the ability to provide that to all of the seniors in need. Furthermore, we're not just here talking about people who are 70, 80, or 90. We are talking about workers 55 years of age or older, half of whom have no retirement savings. All right, think about that. Think about that. In the wealthiest country in the history of the world, you got people by the millions who are 60 years of age, have worked their entire lives, scared to death about what happens to them when they retire from their jobs. They got zero in the bank.
Because, in fact, Social Security, which is perhaps the most successful federal program in the history of our country, has not contributed one penny to our deficit or our national debt. So the idea of lumping Social Security and cuts in Social Security into a discussion about our deficit and our national debt is absolutely wrong, unfair to the tens of millions of seniors and people with disabilities who benefit from that program. As you know, Mr. President, as the American people know, Social Security is independently funded through the payroll tax. Every worker, every employer contributes into that fund. And Social Security today has a $2.6 trillion surplus that is projected, in fact, to grow to over $4 trillion by the year 2023. We, of course, need a vigorous debate about how we deal with the deficit crisis and our national debt. But Social Security, independently funded with a $2.6 trillion surplus, having not contributed one nickel to the national debt, should not be part of that debate. Mr. President, I understand that there are many people in the Senate, many of my Republican colleagues, who do not like Social Security, who do not believe in Social Security, because essentially they do not believe that the government should be involved in retirement insurance for seniors or for people with disabilities. And I respect their point of view. I very strongly disagree with it. And the real problem that they have is that Social Security is enormously popular. Poll after poll shows the American people do not want to see Social Security.
So let me say a word about Social Security. When Social Security was developed in the 30s, its goal was to cut down on senior poverty. And when it was developed, 50% of seniors lived in poverty. Today, poverty among seniors is too high, but that number is 10%. Social Security has done exactly what it was designed to do. Think about this. For 75 years, in good times and in bad times, Social Security has paid out every nickel owed to every eligible American. For 75 years, every American has got what he or she is entitled to. Don't let anybody kid you. Social Security today has a $2.6 trillion surplus. Social Security can pay out every benefit